What is up, everybody? First weekend of football is in the books. San Francisco 49ers lose to the Titans. And now I've got the All 22, which means we can actually review what happened in the game. I've got some scores from PFF that I'm going to go over, and then we're going to compare and contrast those scores with what we actually see. There's a couple other things to talk about as well. We're going to do that plus more, and we're going to do it next. All right. Welcome back to Last Second Sports, where we are giving you our take down to the last second. And I see a couple people saying I'm late. Start time was 8:35, I believe, and it's 8:35. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's when I started. So not late, just on time. Joke's on you, Brother Bob and Dave Barclay. Now, so listen, let's do a little film review. I actually haven't gone through and watched this, so this will be my first time watching. Not going to give an in-depth breakdown on every little thing that I'm seeing. We're just going to watch it together and form an opinion. That's it. But there are a couple players that I want to talk about before we get into it. And before we actually get there, let's talk about the news that just came out about the San Francisco 49ers and how they are canceling the joint practices with the New Orleans Saints. I don't know if I've ever heard of this happening. It's certainly strange. I will say that after the game and knowing how many players were injured, Kyle Shanahan talked about it. There was a thought that crossed my mind that was like, I don't know how they're going to do these joint practices. I mean, can they really field the team here? And you got to remember, joint practices, you do two of them. That's essentially 2 games. Then you actually play a game. You really need the bodies to get it done. I'm not necessarily blaming the 49ers, but man, there's a lot of craziness happening this offseason. Again, we talk about a Super Bowl hangover. We don't know how to necessarily quantify that. All we know is that teams have it. I was at camp. The energy was certainly off. You've got this Ayuk thing lingering. You've got the Trent Williams thing lingering. You've got injuries happening at an astronomical rate. I don't know what the Super Bowl hangover is, but it sure feels like we're in the middle of one this offseason. Can the 49ers recover? Certainly, but not a great start to the season. Figured if you hadn't heard that, it would be nice to know that joint practices have been canceled with the 49ers and the Saints, which is a little disappointing. I certainly look forward to joint practices. I feel like you get a lot out of those joint practices, a lot more than you do any preseason game. Players are super competitive in those. Teams are super competitive. And you get a lot of the starters versus the starters in those practices, which gives you a good feel of how the team is, how prepared they are, and going against another starting team. I think joint practices, there's a lot to take away from those. And unfortunately, we're not going to get to see those. So hopefully the 49ers can heal up. Hopefully they can figure out this Brandon Ayuk situation. I mean, it's August 11th. We don't know for sure what's happening with BA. We don't know for sure what's happening with Trent Williams. There's just a lot going on. But good news is there was a game last night. Preseason game, albeit, but there was a game. So PFF, I don't take them as gospel. I think it's a good launching point. We all watch the game. We all have our opinions, but watching the game once through live and forming an opinion versus going back and actually watching specific players, I think is very different. So a couple PFF scores to think about as we go through this. On the offensive side of the ball, they gave Dominic Pooney a 42.1 score in the run game, which is awful. Really, he was good in the pass game. I think everybody agrees with that. But in the run game, they said he was atrocious. They gave McKivitz an 83.3 in the run game, which is really good. And Aaron Banks in the passing game They gave a 24.8. So then when you flip it over to the defensive side, they gave Jair Brown a 48.9 versus the run game. They gave D. Winters a 30.2. In the pass game, they gave Renardo Green a 44.1, and they gave D. Winters a 39.4. Really, PFF is saying that D. Winters had an awful game. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I mean, he certainly had some weird angles, that's for sure. But that's why we go back and watch it. So here's what we're going to do. We're only going to watch a half of the offense. We'll watch every play, all three angles. Might do some rewinding, some fast forwarding, what have you. And then we're going to watch the defense the first half. And we'll do the same exact thing. So first half of just the offense, first half of just the defense, and then we'll form some opinions together. Before we get there, Dave Barclay says, what's good? Anything, like and subscribe, everyone. And then he says, can we ever stop the run? Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know about that. But I know what play you're talking about. Yeah, he definitely did. He did make the tackle on that play. But I will say this. For as good as I think the young linebackers were in training camp last year and then this year, a little disappointed with how D. Winters played and Jalen Graham, both of them. And I love Jalen Graham. You know I love Jalen Graham. I've been talking up D. Winters. Everybody, it seems like, is talking up D. Winters. And he's earned that through training camp. But training camp and games are very, very different. Also, I do want to say, first preseason game, first time getting real snaps. Also, they were going against the first team, a lot of it, of the Titans. So I don't want to make a rash judgment and just say these guys aren't good. I'm certainly not going to do that. But they didn't start out so hot. Let's put it that way. A little bit disappointing. So here we go. PFF couldn't disagree more. And I'm not saying they're right and you're wrong, Dale, but the film's going to show us exactly what it was. However, we're going to have to wait to see how D. Winters' game went because we're going to start out with the offense. So here we go. Let's get into it. Oh, let's not get into it. Let me close it out and restart it, and then we can get into it, maybe. That's defense. Let's try again. There we go. All right. Now, I'm paying attention to the offensive line more so than anything here. I mean, we can watch the quarterback. We can watch, as the play develops, but I'm going to watch the offensive line. Banks, who I know didn't score well in the passing game. I want to see how he is. Pooney did score well. McKivitz scored well in both. So definitely want to see that as well. Oh, God. You guys see what I saw? Watch Banks. Oh, my God. What was that, dude? Wow. Watch Banks here. That ain't good. Pooney ends up on the ground too, but it looks like he trips over somebody. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Mason went in to save Banks and unfortunately fell, and then Pooney fell over. I'm glad Pooney didn't get hurt there. Oh, my God. That was terrible. Wow. He's supposed to be the starting left guard. Banks again. Look at this. Now I can't take my eyes off of him. Just stumbling out of his block. I mean, he got in the way for sure, but Mason's a beast too, right? Ugh. Look at that. Not a great start for Banks, I would say. Not a great start. Watch Banks again. Just kind of stumbling through things. He got in the way though. I mean, he did his job there. It just didn't look great. So give him some credit, but that first play, jeez, what was that? You said McKivitz. What did McKivitz do? Let's watch McKivitz. It's hard to watch everybody. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at McKivitz just going to work. My God, watch this. He's in a full 2-point stance. Well, wasn't there? I was reading something or watching something the other day, and they were talking about offensive line, and they were talking about when the offensive line is able to go into a 2-point stance. It's like rewarding the offensive line. Like they've had a really good game, and you're giving them a rest. This is play number 2, and he's in a 2-point stance. And then he just gets thrown aside by a linebacker. That's great. All right. Well, Jordan Mason's awesome, though. We'll at least we got that going for us. And false start. Okay, let's skip past here. Skip 30 seconds ahead. Not bad. Much better by Banks. He didn't get bowled over. It's good. So that was a good rep for the offensive line. I mean, 61 over here just got thrown directly into the lap of Allen. What was that, Hubbard? But other than that, and hopefully Hubbard just never plays, right? So not too worried about him. Not bad. Nothing to really complain about there. And again, I'm not like an offensive line expert by any means. I'm not pretending to be one. So there might be little things that like coach might look at and be like, dude, pad level, it's been over too much. I don't like what I'm seeing there. That's fine. I just want to know, like, are you protecting the quarterback or not? Let's start there. Can you protect Brock Purdy? And if you can't, that's pretty clear. And if you can, also clear. So let's start there. Some good work over there on the left side of that line, though. I'm not gonna lie. Look at Pooney and McKivitz doing a good job. Good recovery there by Pooney. He was kind of faked out to the inside here, but he recovers well, moves his feet well. Look at him. Yep. Nice work. Yeah, I saw that one there. We just saw the lunging, Marco, on that one for sure. Banks did a good job there. He's able to move down the line, seal off. I mean, he's probably holding his ass off, we're being honest, but it wasn't called. So good work. Willis, too. Look at that. Actually like that. Look at Willis here. Good job. Gets his hat on somebody. All right. See you, Willis. I mean, I'd say not great by Banks. I mean, that's definitely not a pocket for a quarterback. The quarterback wants to step up in a pocket. How is he supposed to do that with Banks right at his launch point? Not ideal. Not ideal. Yeah, I would say so far that little score that PFF had on the pass game for Banks is fully justified. Not good. I do want to point out though too, Mason, right? And I kept talking about this last year about how I felt the reason he wasn't getting playing time was because he just didn't know the offense well. He wasn't a good blocker, wasn't a good route runner. So far, I mean, I think he's done a pretty good job of his hitting his blocking assignments. And as a route runner, I mean, he's much more fluid. Obviously, we know as a runner, he's really good. But watch Mason here. I feel like he does a good job finding somebody to put hands on, staying busy, helping out. God, that was awful by Biggs, though. Ugh. Nice patient running from JP Mason, man. Good patient running. I like the seal block over here by Willis and Sauerbert or Saubert. Good job. First, they start out in a double team. They end up spreading out and getting two players. Good job. I feel like Banks is just kind of getting in the way. He's not really doing a whole lot. What was that? It was 61. Watch 61 here. Jeez, bud. Like, great effort, man. Great freaking effort. Yes. Ugh. Bring back Trent. Bring back Trent. Jeez, man. Mooney's doing a good job so far, yeah. There's Banks, just not really holding up too great. There's always the UFL. Oh God. Jeez, man. How did Mason score there? And there's like no push from that offensive line. Wow. Mason's a G. That was all Mason. That was all Mason. I mean, Mason scores on this. Guys, Mason scores on this. That was crazy. Pooney had a nice push there in the back as well. But as far as the offensive line actually getting push, not a lot. Not a lot. All right. I'd say mixed reviews. Pooney looks good. Like that for sure. Banks not so much. Banks. Yeah, Banks is already out of the game, huh? All right. Well, I guess we're just watching Dominic Pooney a lot. Guess we'll just watch a lot of Dominic Pooney here. He's all I care about at this point. How do you guys feel about the backup quarterback position? Feeling good about it? No. You're not feeling good. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Man, Pooney, I like Pooney, dude. Jeez, he's doing a good job here. He's doing a good job. I want to watch him more in the run game because that's where they gave him a bad score. But I feel like in the pass game, man, he's really holding up well. Really holding up well. Let's watch him more in the run game, see how it goes. But bring back Donald. I would take Donald over these guys for sure. Take this guy. Probably not the best rep there from Pooney. Well, let's see it again. Yeah, not a great rep at all. I mean, he got pushed all the way across the line. I mean, not a great rep really for the whole offense there, it seems, but jeez. '91 just blows it up. All right. What do we got here? We got some super chats. Let me get through these. I think you're going to see a lot of that this year. A lot of getting the ball out quick to try to avoid this pass rush. Brother Bob says, I'll say it. These guys aren't that good preseason game one. Dave Barclay says, we need lots of help. Always high talk and TC. And then he says, Mason's the best player on the field in the first drive. Completely agree. Mason is so good. Been yelling for him for 2 years. He's a really good runner. I don't think anybody's denying that, but there was a reason he wasn't on the field. And I kept talking about it last year, and I felt like I was the only one that talked about it. And I think that Kyle Shanahan basically confirmed that this year. Look at that, dude. See Pooney just bury his guy. He ended up on the ground, but do you see him bury the guy in front of him? Look at this. Watch this rep right here from Pooney. Check this out. Just rips him right down. And 91 was the one that blew up the play before, remember? It was a big boy. Pooney just kind of tossed him aside. Look at this. Here it is. Another angle. Offensive line held up pretty good there. Dave says, who is 61? He's worse. Thought Trent was bad lately. Hubbard. Yeah, Hubbard, not very good. Dave Barclay says, Brandon Allen's awful. I feel like he's got better arm strength than what he had last year. Did Parker play? Yeah, 75, I think. Right here. There he is. Yeah. There he is. Looks like he's playing at right tackle. He was awful at left tackle in training camp the days I was there, but haven't really called his name a lot, which is decent, I guess. Yeah, I don't know that Pooney's been awful in the run game the way that PFF described. I mean, there's still more to go, right? but he's clearly better as a pass blocker, which, oh, yeah. Okay. All right. There it is. Yeah. All right. He hasn't been great in the run game. That's twice now that he's been the reason. Here he is here. He tries to get the second level, and his guy just blows right by him. He doesn't even get hands on him. But I don't mind it. I mean, I feel like every single guy that the 49ers draft is like so much better in the run game as a blocker than the pass game. I'm fine with Pooney being like the one guy who's just much better at pass blocking, and then he can learn the run blocking. So no, we don't trust Jalen Moore at left tackle. Absolutely not. How can you? No. It's a pretty good throw, yeah. That's the comment I was looking at. Oh, that was a good throw. Yeah, Pooney's not great in the run game in this. Here he is right here. He just gets driven back. Remember 91 was the guy that he put on his arse? That was in the pass game. But in the run game, man, 91 was a handful. Pooney couldn't handle him. And that was with some help from Parker. Still struggled. There he is in the pass game, man. He does a good job again. Right here, look at this. Much better job in the pass game. Hubbard is just, bro, if Hubbard has to see the field, you guys are watching this, right? Here he is right here, 61. My gosh, every single time, just can't even anchor. Pushback, 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 pushback. Rick says offensive line has got to play better in the regular season and protect our quarterback. Yes, absolutely. No question. No question. This ain't going to cut it. But most of these guys that we're watching now shouldn't be starting. Banks has to do a better job. See, look at this. Pooney in the pass game against 91, no issues. He handles them every single time. But in the run game, not so much. He does a great job here. He's strong, man. 91's a big boy. And Pooney's holding his own. I like Pooney. Not bad. He might be managing Stetson Bennett over at Carl's Jr. Stetson Bennett, Jesus, dude. 4 interceptions, should have had 5. My gosh. Ooh, that was a really, really, really good job by Pooney there, I thought. Look at this. Watch him. Now, I don't know where 45 came from. 63 supposed to pick up 45. I feel like that was a miscommunication, but Pooney did a good job. Oh, what was not ideal? Not ideal. I don't know if as an offensive line. Listen, I'm not the offensive lineman expert, but I don't know if you want to pirouette as an offensive lineman. That's what Pooney does. I don't know that you necessarily want to do a 360 when you're doing some pass blocking. No, he got lucky. It wasn't on him necessarily, but I don't know if that's ideal. God, they just sent too many. I mean, you got to get that ball out. What are you expecting to do there? They just sent way too many up that left side, overloaded that left side. Ooh, what sorry, I didn't even see. Ah, here we are. We're in the third quarter. Okay. All right, that's the offense. That was the offense in the first half. Let's check out the defense. See if we can get the defense going here. All right, so now we're going to watch the defense. First half of the defense. Can we cut Breida now? No, we don't have any other running backs. Kind of hard. Okay, so defense, here's what I'm looking for. PFF gave Jair Brown a 48.9 score in the run game, which isn't great. They give D Winters a 30.2, which is awful. And then in the pass game, they gave Renardo Green a 44.1 and Winters a 39.4. So basically, they just said D Winters was dog water all the way through. All right. So let's just watch D Winters, Jair Brown, Renardo Green, see how they are here. Got Winters here. Okay, not really a lot to see there. Where's Green playing? Is he playing in the slot? Is this Green here? This is Ambry. This is Green, I think. Playing the nickel. Well, that was a good play by Jair Brown in the run game. I mean, look, it's only one play, right? But I feel like for a guy to get that bad of a score, you wouldn't even see him do this. This was great play by him. Oh, yeah, there's Green right there. He is in the nickel. Okay. Ooh, that was awful. Hey, but Jair Brown again. Yeah, Winters, you got to make that tackle, bud. You got to make that tackle for sure. Ooh, almost got a face mask. Yeah, D Winters, not great. Not great in the run game for sure. Is that Rock Ya-Sin out there? You guys keep talking about a D Winters injury. What? Am I missing something? I know he like got banged up in the game and then jogged off, but I mean, am I missing something? That was like the one really good play from Winters, huh? He gets Levis here. It's a really good play by Winters, actually. Odom, too. I want to see Renardo Green in coverage. How's he look? Not easy. That was a good play by him. Watch Renardo Green. He's got to cut through traffic here. They try to rub him off. He does a good job staying underneath, going over the top, and then staying underneath. That was a really good play from Renardo as well. But yeah, that was a great play by Winters. Great play. This right here has been an issue for the 49ers for a long time. They cannot stop like 3rd and inches, 4th and inches. They just don't do it. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. All right, here we go again. We got Winters. Now we got, is this Green playing outside here? Yeah, look at that. So Green started out nickel. Now he's playing outside. Just shows the versatility. What? What is Winters going after here? What? Why is he running full speed at this tight end when we got a player right there? That is an awful, awful angle from D Winters. Awful angle. Jeez, man. Yeah, it's not good. Not ideal. I definitely see how Winters has his bad scores here. We'll see though. See how the rest of it goes. All right, Renardo Green. Nas, is this him here? I think so. Great play by Winters. Okay. All right, D. Look at this one. Nice. Watch this. That's his best play so far. Wow. That was a really good play by D Winters. Really good play. Look at this. That was a great play. He's just inconsistent. He's inconsistent. I mean, we've had 2 of the better plays made by this defense been made by him. Now, play in and play out, he hasn't been great. I understand that, but 2 really good plays by him for sure. Oh, that was it. Huh. All right. All right, D. Listen, I talk you up, and then you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. Now, look at how bad this angle is. Watch this. Jeez, dude. Watch, 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 watch. Dude, what is that angle? What is going on there? Wow. That was terrible. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's D Winters. He like literally just runs straight down the line. What are you doing, dude? What is that? Oh, man. That was ugly. That was a really, really bad angle. Gosh, man, he's made such good plays, but some of these are just really, really bad too. Who was that one on? Okay, Jalen Graham's out there. He's got no push up front. No push up front. He's got moved around. It's my boy Jalen Graham, though, making the tackle, him and Ambrian on that one. And there's D Winters. Just giving up a good old run. Jeez, man. It's D Winters right here. He's just waiting too long. Hesitation, man. You got to get downhill quick. He's got the room to do it. If he goes now, he's there. Right? If he just goes, and it's a split second for sure. But I think he's just so worried because he's taking a couple really bad angles. He's like just not playing fast, he's thinking, which is understandable. I mean, this is like, first game for him in a long time. You can't expect perfection out of these guys. He's made two really nice plays, but play in and play out, I would say D Winters has definitely struggled a bit. Hey, made a tackle there. See, when he just plays fast, he does a good job, but he's just not consistent. Oh, gosh. T.Y. McGill. All right. Looks like we got Renardo Green following somebody across field here. Oh, just awful angles all the way across. Okay. That was there we go. Now I see how Jair Brown got the score he got. Look at this angle. Just a really, really, really bad angle by Jair Brown there. I mean, at this point, well, also, by the way, who was that on the outside? Barrett? You got to hold the edge. He doesn't at all. Gets completely, I don't know what he's going for, but he just completely runs downhill. So the edge isn't held. And then you got Brown over here taking an awful pursuit angle. Yeah, that just wasn't good all the way around. Not good all the way around. Like, what is he? Yeah, dude. Starts with Barrett, but that angle by Jair Brown is not ideal either. All right, there you go, Barrett. Way to make up for it. See you. Who knows what would have happened there? Ooh, what happened to Ronaldo Green there? Here's Green. Oh, it wasn't. He was just trying to make a play. It was, yeah. He was there. Just bad angles. That was a good job by Barrett. He got crushed last time, but he does a really good job in pursuit. Watch this. Right over here. Gets down the line. Nice play. Although running back does slip. Look at him. If he makes a cutback here, watch him. He gets stuck. No man's land. It's like, oh, God. He cuts back. He might be able to make something happen. But he made the play. Ooh, Mustafa's in too. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, look at this. I like this play. This rep from Green here. Watch this. It's in press. This is why it's so hard to play nickel. Because this guy has a two-way go. He can go in, he can go out, obviously, and run upfield. Fakes in, then tries to get back out. Not on Green's watch. That was a good rep from Green. Really good rep, actually. Here you go. Here's a question. What is Nick Sorensen calling that's different from what Wilkes was calling? They're both too passive. Well, preseason game 1, but here's something right here. Right as you asked the question, look at this. You got both your edges standing up. You got your linebackers mugged up in the middle. Now, we've seen a look like this, but usually your edges aren't standing up with it. And then they send Mustafa off the edge as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. It's pretty aggressive. Yeah. Doesn't work out for them because on the back end they couldn't hold up, but well, Ambry couldn't hold up. We got Ambry there. We got Renardo here. Rocks over here. Just too much, man. Giving them too much space, Ambry. Too much space, man. Way too much space. But that was a nice aggressive play call. Yeah, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people they send. They get there. Get there pretty quick. Back end just couldn't hold up. Yeah, I think everybody game plans a little bit different, right? I'm not saying that you're wrong necessarily here about the aggressiveness or lack thereof. Um, but I think everybody game plans a little bit different in the preseason. You know what I mean? I mean, the Titans played a big portion of their starters for a while, and the 49ers didn't. So it's like, if you're not playing your starters, what's your MO really in preparation? You know what I mean? Oh gosh. Oh, look at that. Mustafa just gets beaten pretty bad there. Completely falls for the play action. Watch this. And then his guy leaks out the backside. Oop. And there we go. There we go. You thought Kalia had a good game? He definitely had some game wrecking plays. Golly, man. I don't listen, I get it. It's the backups, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 linebackers, and you still. I mean, these guys. Ambry Thomas just gets pushed out of the building. He got thrown completely out of the club. Look at this. Right here. Right up top. Just, oh my God. Look at him. Jeez, dude. Holy. Look up top over here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but my God. Alrighty then. Not great. And there's Winters missing another tackle. Yeah. Winters was a bit up and down. I would say more down than up. But again, first game. We'll see. These are things that this is why these guys need to play in the preseason, You got to have film, and it's not going to be perfect all the time. You got to have some bad film out there in order for it to be taught. You need some teach tape. And this is definitely some teach tape. Definitely some teach tape. God, hell of a play there. Hell of a play. And they tried to double team him, it looks like. Look at this. Oh, yeah, just splits right through it. Nope. Nope. Not going to happen. Not on my watch. What's going on in the chat? Stop having mods that are soft. What is even happening? What am I missing? What are you guys bitching about? I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. How did that happen? You see that play from the beginning. Okay. Ooh, nobody. Yeah, that's probably on is that Renardo? He's got to get down to that flat. That looks like Renardo to me. But if you got Rocky Sen going deep here, and then you got Renardo in no man's land, nobody's coming down to this flat. Yeah. Yeah, that was on Renardo for sure. Or is that even Renardo? I don't know that is. I think it is. Yeah, that was Renardo. Yeah, that wasn't great. That wasn't great. He's much better in man than he is zone for sure. Which is another thing though, and I feel like I've been saying this for 3 years. A lot of us have been saying this for 3 years, but like everybody they're drafting and bringing onto this team that's a corner is a man corner. But they continue to play a ton of zone. I don't understand it. I mean, I'm fine mixing it up, but they play way more zone than they do man overall. But they got a bunch of guys that are supposed to be man corners. No push up the middle again. No push up the middle again. Well, I agree with this. I do agree with this, but it's not just him. It's all the corners are mostly man corners, but they just play a ton of. I mean, even like Ambry Thomas is more built as a man corner, and they just throw him out in zones like crazy. Great play here by 93. Almost blows this up complete. God, dude, he just pushing people around. That's twice now. That was a great play. Great play. You're right. That's a fact. That is a fact. Just trust the process. Sure, this is our year. Yeah, I think Winter's got to get out to that flat there. And he just doesn't do it. Just kind of slow plays it, but he's got to get out there for sure. Like Ruckus in, he's just a veteran. He's like, golly, dude, can we cover underneath so I can just do my thing back here? What's going on? Oof. Good tackle by Green, though. All right, we got Graham and we got Winters on the field. Winters just gets shoved out of the picture. Look at this. Who comes up? Is that a offensive lineman or a tight end that gets him? Yeah, that's a tight end that just shoves him right out of the picture. Man, I gotta agree, man. I mean, I would say that, and PFF's not gospel by any means, but we went through the offensive side. They had Pooney as a 42.1 in the run game. I would say he wasn't great in the run game. They had Banks as a 24.8 in the pass game. Definitely wasn't good in the pass game. The defensive side, they had Jair Brown as a 48.9 in the run game. Yeah, maybe. I mean, he did have one really, really, really bad angle that ended up being a touchdown, but I would say all in all, he was maybe a little better than that. But they had D Winters as a 30.2. I can agree. They had Green as a 44.1 in the pass game. I don't know that I've seen enough to justify that score, but we have seen him out of his zone maybe once or twice, for sure once. And then D Winters is a 39.4 in the pass game. We've seen him completely out of his zones, and we've seen him miss some tackles. So, yeah, I mean, I tend to agree here with what PFF has put out. Tend to agree. Let's watch Winters here. That was a good play. It's a good play. Robinson. Everybody's like, thank God I didn't have to do anything there. uh, ooh. We all remember that play. My gosh. It's like a missile. Look at this. Patient. Boom. Great play by Mustafa. Wow. And he had to make that play, man. It was literally him and the running back in the hole because running back scores there if he doesn't make that play. It's not like he was like just doing that for show. Like that was a play that needed to be made. That was a great play. Man, Mustafa's he's fast. Fast decision maker. Look at him immediately. Another good play by him. He's had a few of them. He had the one where he got caught up in that play action and they threw it behind him for sure. But overall, man, Mustafa's a G. He's playing really well. Really, really well. That was good zone coverage by Renardo. Look at this. He's right here in the slot. Look at him. Does a good job staying in between both. That was good play by Renardo. He's already learning. That's good. I mean, quarterback just has all day. He's just camping back there. Nobody can get pressure worth a lick, but back end was nice. I mean, who's the edge rusher? Think about it. Outside of your starters, who's the edge rusher that you can trust out there? I mean, I don't know that there is anybody, right? I mean, dude, this is like the second time. They just slip in the screen right behind him. What is sometimes I don't understand what Winters is seeing. I mean, he's still just backing up. Anyways, just miss tackle, miss tackle, miss tackle. 1, 2. Is that where Ambry broke his forearm, by the way? Just diving at air. Just getting ran through back there. My gosh. Ugh. Yeah, I think this is where Ambry gets hurt, guys. For sure. Because look at him. Look how he just rolls on the ground holding his arm up. Yeah, that's where it happened. But I mean, that's poor tackling for him. You know what I mean? I mean, I hate that he got hurt for sure. But dude, I mean, you're just diving at nothingness with your arm out there. It's just bad tackling. And there's just that's the other thing too. I mean, we really haven't talked about it, but I mean, dude, 11's just camping back there with no pressure, play after play after play after play. And again, these are the backups, right? But this is where the Niners had been so great. Was their depth was just so much. Now it's like I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I definitely don't trust any edge rushers, that's for sure. Outside of your starters. Here we are again, just camping back there. Did a good job getting a hand up for sure. That was good, but that's always last ditch effort. As far as just having room and time, man, he could have sat back there forever. Man, it's hard not to look at Winters wearing 53 and not think of Bowman, huh? I'm not saying he's playing like Bowman, but just seeing 53 on the field. Mm. All right, we're into the third quarter. There it is. First half offense, first half defense. I think we got a good feel, right? And I think what I wanted to see was how accurate was PFF, and I think they were very accurate. I think they were very accurate. So, yeah, brother. I mean, I think I think it's tough. Like once you get into the regular season, right? I think once you get in the regular season, you kind of have to just pick an offense, pick defense. Preseason, you're mostly looking for starters or close to starters, as close to starters as you can get. Which means you can watch half offense, half defense, and get a good feel of it. It's a lot harder during the regular season because you just got to pick one or the other. You know what I mean? Dave says BB is right. Ambry has got to go. He's dog water. Well, I think luckily for Ambry, him going on some sort of injury reserve here will give him a chance to keep a roster spot. But we'll see. Dave says Malik and Green, I thought were the best rookies. Yeah, I thought Pooney was fine, especially in the pass game. Pooney's really good, but in the run game, I definitely see where PFF was coming from. I'll send more if you don't make us watch the the Pastronaut. You don't want to watch him? Dave says Dobbs was so much better than Allen, and he's not good. Yeah, I don't. I would say the backup quarterback position is very meh. Dave Barclay says all they did was talk about depth. What depth? Yeah, there's not a lot right now. It doesn't feel like that. Funny boy Roddy says, "Let's go Vikings." All right, how you feeling about JJ out there? Probably feeling pretty good, huh? Won't be long before he takes over for Darnold, I gotta assume. Dave says our awesome defense looks horrid. Yeah. No starters were really playing though. Brother Bob says, Dave, remember that I text you, thank God Willis sucks. Yeah, yes, sir. Our D needs help, Brother Bob. Yeah, man. I listen, I don't always agree with PFF, but I definitely agree with what we saw, or what they saw rather. Pooney wasn't great in the run game. McKivitz, I thought, was good overall. Banks in the pass game was atrocious. That was right away. Jair Brown, D Winters wasn't good pass or run. I don't know. I thought Renardo Green was decent. So I don't know what to tell you. Clutchstein says, I think the D line struggled. I get backups wasn't good, but Winters over pursues and can't shed blocks. Yeah, that definitely was for sure. That was for sure. But we'll see. One game. You know what I mean? I think Winters has a lot of promise. I think Jalen Graham has a lot of promise. So I don't want to just, after one game, write him completely off. But if that continues, like if we go through the rest of the preseason and we see this from D Winters, that would be discouraging. Because I don't think anybody's super excited about Buddy from the Packers starting. You know what I mean? Campbell. So if Winters looks like this, it's like, well, we were kind of hoping that maybe he could start or would start. I don't know how you start that. That's not a starting player. That's not a starting player at all. He says it's not just one game though, Jesse. It was all over his film too in college. Yeah, for sure. I don't disagree with that. But we'll see. Cryptic says, Jesse, don't you think our starters still struggled on run D and getting consistent pressure other than Bosa? Our backups still feel the same. Yeah, I mean, I'm concerned about stopping the run. I'm concerned about the trenches overall. I really am. I think there's some offensive lines in the NFC that can bully the 49ers in the run game, especially. And I think that there's certainly a lot of defensive lines that can probably bully the 49ers offensive line. So yeah, I don't feel great about the trenches overall. I really don't. I really don't. And I think that's where games are won. So I think, Kyle game plans around the offensive line pretty well. But we see that when games get tough, you start playing some of these teams that'll punch you in the mouth, that the offensive line struggles, and it can be a big reason for why they're not winning. I don't know that they've done anything to address that this offseason. I think you're probably going to run into a lot of the same, where it's going to be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And people will be like, oh, listen, they're winning. It's good. And then they'll get bullied and people will try to forget about it. like they did with the Ravens, and then you'll get to the postseason and it'll happen again at the worst time, and that'll be that, you know? So I think that still exists, and we'll see. We'll see how the run game, defensive run game is, if it's better than last year. I mean, at times it was good last year, at times it was awful. We'll see. But I don't know. I don't necessarily know what they've done to address either of those issues other than change the coach on defense. But who have you added that's just going to come in and be dominant against the run game in the middle of that defense? I don't know. Dave says, "Are Titans supposed to be better than us?" No, no, not at all, not at all. So we'll see. But there you go. Film doesn't lie. Hopefully, you guys got a better picture of what actually happened in last night's game. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that Collins and Davis are better than Armstead and Kinlaw necessarily, right? So I don't know. For me, it's kind of the same problem, probably. But we'll see. Dale says, "Let's be honest. The best Niners run D is us being up by 20 points." Yep. No, that's a good point. Again, Shanahan scheming around the trenches that he's chosen not necessarily to address. So is Shanny we trust. Jesse, he's beat them all except for Andy Reid. Yeah, but I mean, Andy Reid's kind of the one that you got to beat to win a Super Bowl. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. So, yeah, it does look purple. It's actually blue. I don't know why it looks purple, but it's definitely a dark navy blue. Dark navy blue. Actually, I like this hat a lot. Not necessarily because of like the color scheme or anything, but a lot of you know that I coach my son's flag football team, and the quarterback of that team, Dino, I've worked with him for like 3 years and just watched him grow and become a really good player. And you know, I told the team that I'm probably not gonna continue to coach flag football just because I don't know. I mean, I love coaching my son, but at the same time, I don't, because I'm gonna be hard on him. And I feel like at some point, like as your kid gets older, if you're constantly coaching him and you're his coach all the way through, it's really hard not to blur the lines of being a coach and being a parent. And so for me, I'm probably not going to continue to coach him. But he got me this hat and wrote me a card just saying, thanking me for coaching him and teaching him a lot. And yeah, so this meant a lot to me for sure. In fact, let me see if I can find the card. Hold on, I'll read it. Oh yeah, here it is. It says, "Coach Jesse, I loved you being my coach and playing for the Lions. We were the Lions. I've learned a lot from you, like dropping back, reading defense, and knowing what receiver to throw to. I'm a better player because of you. Love, Dino." So that's why I like this hat so much. Not so much the color scheme, like I said, but it is different, and that hat has a lot of meaning. So shout out to Dino. Much love, bud. I know that you'll continue to grow as a quarterback and a player. So there you go. Yep. Got that one. Dave says trade Kyle. Thank you for your work, Jesse. Yeah, there we go. All right. You can't get it through a show without a trade Kyle comment, right? There it is. All right, y'all. Much love. I'll be back tomorrow with Coach. I think we're on his channel tomorrow. So tune in, Coach's Huddle. Check it out over there. And we'll be back at it soon. Much love. Peace.